Hello again, my name's Gabe Zollner. Well, I just read some interesting information on an article on Newsmax. I will attach the link, you're not going to have to look for it. Federal judge orders IRS to explain how it lost learners' emails. Yeah, that slowest learner, you know, the one that says, I don't know anything, I did nothing wrong. Well, U.S. District Judge Emmett Sullivan, he gave the IRS until August the 10th to produce and submit a declaration clearly explaining how that's possible with respect to not only lowest learners' information vanishing due to a computer hard crash, but also 6 other individuals that are intimately involved in this investigation. I'm inclined to think that the paper trail, once it's determined that there in fact is a paper trail vis-a-vis these emails, will go right to the desk of Barack Hussein Obama. Douglas Shulman needs to explain 157 visits to the White House, when the previous head of the IRS under the previous president visited the White House once. Douglas Shulman's assistant, I think she was there 145 times. Now, Douglas does look like he could go either way. That might explain some of the visits, but not all of the visits. And Douglas has to be sworn under oath to explain. And the comment that he made earlier when he was asked why he was there so often, and he said the Easter egg roll, well, I think his head's going to roll. Not only his, but a lot of other folks as well. What this really proves is what I said in a previous video. Government can't run anything. The IRS is a corrupt criminal organization, as is the NSA, as is the EPA, as are most organizations that are controlled by Washington. 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, to be more specific. It doesn't work, folks. The VA doesn't work. None of it works. And that's because it's run by bureaucrats. These people do not understand the real world. They've been coddled. They've been hand-fed for the majority of their lives. They can't relate. They need to go. The Veterans Administration has to be privatized. The IRS needs to completely vanish and we go to a flat tax. The EPA needs to be privatized. You can't have the EPA dictate on the requests and the wishes of a president. The EPA has to function based on what's good for the American people. And cutting off coal when India and when China is polluting the entire hemisphere, cutting off our coal doesn't do any good other than drive up the cost of pretty much everything. Everything depends on electricity. And without coal, what do you think is going to happen to your electrical bill, your food bill, your heating bill, your air conditioning bill? It's all going to go sky high. But this isn't about the EPA. This isn't about the NSA. This isn't about the VA. This is about the IRS. And I congratulate U.S. District Judge Emmett Sullivan for having the courage to step forward and demand that the IRS be held accountable. So what do you think? I told you what I think.